Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CBN Unscripted, where we bring you the stories, the people, the programs, and the athletes that are helping to shape collegiate bowling. I'm your host, Jasmine Monk, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm really excited about this one. We have one of our partners on, Goal Bowling, and we have Phil Ticknor, who is the founder of Go Bowling. But guys, we're going to be doing a roundtable today. These are some youth athletes that are across the country, and we're going to be having some just great discussions about where they have been, where they're going in their bowling journey. And, a lot of them are looking to bowling at the next level. So we're going to talk about that as well. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show and being here with us today. So we're going to get started. Phil, I would love for you to kind of talk to us a little bit more about Go Bowling. I know you guys are new, but you're doing some amazing things, and I'm not going to steal your thunder, so I'll let you talk about it. So, talk to us a little bit about what Go Bowling is for those who are watching this that don't know.
Sure. So, goal in this case stands for Girls Only All Lanes. So it is a girls only youth bowling tour, primarily junior gold qualifiers. The idea behind goal was to increase opportunities and access to junior gold for female youth bowlers. Oftentimes, there's a difficulty finding junior gold qualifiers where there are enough girls in each age division to qualify against your peers. So the idea behind goal is to bring girls together regionally in the Mid-Atlantic, but perhaps beyond as we have some bowlers coming to events from further away. And then born out of that was just sort of this feeling of camaraderie of bowling with and against your peers. We did a preview scholarship tournament in June. It's outside of the junior gold qualifying window, and we filled that up about 7 weeks before the tournament. And then we have a double header here coming at the end of August, two junior gold qualifiers that we sold out exactly 5 weeks ahead of time, which was pretty
Wow,
remarkable.
that
So
is
yeah. And some of the things we believe in at Goal is we hope that our bowlers feel valued, seen, and challenged. Valued in terms of their place in the bowling world, seen by being able to bowl with their peers, and then challenged. That's probably the one part that some of our competitors don't like so much. We will only use sport patterns, sport oil patterns, because that's what they use at Junior Gold. So
absolutely
we won't have
yes.
challenge patterns or anything like that. It'll be hard, but that's sort of the idea, so that you are prepared, and not just qualify for Junior
Absolutely.
Gold, but that when you go, you're ready for that level of competition.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. I was like, where was this when I was a youth bowler? Where was this? It was so hard to find sports shots. It wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't as popular. And I grew up in Dallas, so I bowl youth bowling in Dallas, but it just wasn't around. So I think that is so cool. And hats off to you for getting that started. It is well needed. And so I'm excited to kind of talk to the girls and kind of dig in a little bit more about that. So everybody feel he's awesome. If you don't know him, you need to get to know him. So okay, thank you for sharing that. So we're going to go ahead and kind of hop into the round table of this. I'm just really excited, right? Because these girls, they represent different ages, different states, different points, different journeys, right, within their bowling journey. But they all have one thing in common, and that is the love for the sport of bowling, as well as potentially want to continue it at the next level. So that makes me so happy and so excited. I'm not going to go into the things I talk about all the time. You guys know me by now, so it's not my show. It is not my show. So I'm gonna keep going. So I kind of really just want to kick us off and get started by getting to know everyone. So maybe I'll just go around the room, and if you girls can tell us your name, your age, your grade, where you're from, and then how long you've been bowling. And then we can get into the good stuff and have some good discussions. How does that sound? So I guess we'll start with Kylie.
Okay, so I am 17. I'm going to be a senior this year. I'm from Delaware and I've been bowling for about 4 to 5 years.
Nice. Thank you. Mariana.
I'm Mariana. I'm 14 years old. I'm from New York and I'm going to be a sophomore this year.
Sophomore, y'all. Coaches, if you're watching this, we have two high schoolers in here. Thank you, Mariana. Aria.
Hi, I'm Aria. I'm going into eighth grade and I've been bowling and I'm from Frederick, Maryland, and I'll be bowling for about 10 years now.
Did y'all hear that? Going into the eighth grade. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Aria. Thank you. Abby.
My name's Abby Marburger. I've been bowling for about 7 years. I'm 15. I'm going into 10th grade, and I'm from PA.
I love it. Do y'all hear the diversity? I mean, whew, I love it. I love it. I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. Okay. So, as you can see, again, different, everyone's been bowling different lengths. Everyone's in different, they're different ages. They're in different places throughout the country. So, I love it. So, the first question I have, guys, is kind of let's go back to the beginning. A lot of you have been bowling a while. So I want to know what kind of made you fall in love with bowling? How did you get into bowling? Everybody's story is different. So whoever doesn't mind sharing. I was like, Abby, you look like you want to come off. Okay, go ahead.
I kind of grew up at the bowling alley. My mom and dad used to do a league there, so I kind of just fell in love with it from that, and I was just like, I want to get into this. And I started off like bowling for fun, and then I actually got into leagues and stuff, and then I got into tournaments, and then and then I saw this girl Bella Love Castillo on Instagram, and I was like, I love her work, and I loved how serious she was about it, and that got me serious about it. So yeah,
Love that. Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I think that's a similar story, to a lot to how some of us have gotten started. Our family came from a bowling family, or our parents bowled. Others, maybe we went on a field trip, or we were just, doing whatever. We're like, that looks cool. Anybody else want to kind of share how they got started?
I got started like when I was a kid. I originally started like a league with like one of my friends. And I did that for a while from second grade up till sixth grade. Then like I stopped bowling for a couple of years and recently came back into bowling like my freshman year. And I just loved it so much. I loved the environment. I loved everybody who was bowling with me, and they were all just so positive. So that kind of really made me love the sport and just love that everybody's so kind to you and just brings like positive energy.
Yeah, that's thanks for sharing that. That's super important. And then you start a league with your friend. It's nothing, more cool, right? And fun and doing something, with a close friend of yours. And I love that. But yeah, I agree with the positive energy. I agree with that so much. Did anybody else want to share?
So just like Abby, I kind of grew up in a bowling alley, and I went with my cousins and my grandparents, and we just did leagues for fun. And then I got introduced to junior gold, and that was where it kind of got like really serious. And I started doing
Mhm.
like sports shot leagues and all of that, but I kind of just lived there.
Yeah, I love that.
Same thing with Kylie. I kind of started from just like going to a bowling alley, like, and I had my birthday party there when I was little, and then they called and they wanted to see if I wanted to join the youth league, and I was like, sure.
Yeah.
So I joined, and I was I was bowling, and then we had to move houses, so we've just been hopping around from house to house, and like ever since I've moved from house to house, I've been taking like junior gold and like SYCs. I've been doing a lot more things like competitively since 2024. So it's been really eye-opening for me whenever I moved.
Yeah, I love that so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I think that's important, especially for those that are watching, for them to kind of understand how all of you got started. Everybody's story is different, right? Like my story, my grandfather and my grandmother bowl. Well, actually, I came from a bowling family. Basketball actually was my sport, guys. It was my sport, and I started bowling at 5 just for fun because my grandfather was doing it. He would take me when I went down there for the summer, and I'm like, I kind of like this, but I, actually was kind of a late bloomer. Like I bowled youth league and I bowled youth travel league. I never went to junior gold. It just wasn't something that was on my radar because I was so focused on basketball. But anyways, it's I'm not part of the roundtable, but I just wanted to share. Everybody's story is different. It's where I was getting at. So that's great. So my next question is, like, when did you, any of you, decide that you kind of wanted to compete at a higher level? So those sports patterns, junior gold, joining gold, like, you know, what made you realize? Was it a specific moment in time? Was it, I want to, yeah, was it a moment in time? Was it, I think I want to bowl in college? Like, kind of what is your reasoning behind wanting to compete at the next level, right? Because you may just bowl Saturday morning youth league and be okay with that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you guys are kind of, I would call you guys elite status, right? You're kind of bowling at that next level. So what made you realize that you wanted to compete at that next level?
I think after touring colleges in my sophomore and junior year, I kind of realized that I did want to go into a different field of study, but I also wanted to compete like nationally and like on these teams that you see on TV and all of that. And I feel like junior gold is a good way to get your name out there because there's the trade show with like all the colleges and they contact you after and you can just like talk about the experience there and hopefully get more like people to know like who you are and what you do and what you want to do in college.
I love that.
Um, Bella Love Castillo kind of like inspired me to actually get serious into the sport. And then my coach started prepping me for like junior gold qualifiers. And then when I actually qualified the first time, I kind of started taking it like really seriously. And then I
Hmm.
went and it all just happened. So now I'm just like researching a lot and everything.
Let's go. I love it. I love that.
For me, it kind of stemmed from like this one tournament that I did. I kind of
Mhm.
went into it not expecting to like really get far. Then after the first round, I ended up placing second in my division. So then we like
Oh,
did like another round of qualifying and then I placed second again and then
wow.
we did like kind of match play type stuff and then I ended up getting third and all this was very unexpected for me. So just kind of getting that and knowing like I do have chances to win and like get better at the sport, like,
Mhm.
I just started to do more tournaments to kind of, like, get myself out there and, like, kind of understand, like, what it is like to be in tournaments and stuff. Then from there, I kind of was, like, thinking about, like, bowling in college and, like, other things like that. So just kind of me when like, getting 3rd at that tournament kind of, like, pushed me to, like, wanna bowl more.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh man, that's great. That's great. And congrats on that. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Did you have anything to add on this conversation?
So ever since my first SYC back in 2024, I didn't really do well, but it also motivated me to do like put in the effort and actually put in the work. And so when I did qualify for junior gold, I I always told myself I was gonna make a goal and always go above that goal each year so it could get better.
That's great. And that's a good segue kind of into the next question I had for you guys was, kind of looking back over the past year, like where do you think you've grown the most? Where do you think you've improved the most? So that could be with your mental game, that could be with spear shooting or your confidence, right? It could be anything really, but how do you guys feel if you look over the past year, how do you ladies feel that you've grown the most?
I feel like I've grown the most, like, both in the mental part and the, like, physical part. Like, my
Mhm.
scores have, like, gotten a lot higher, but at the beginning of, like, this past bowling season in one of, like, our matches, I was having, like, a very bad mental day, and, like I was very in my head and I was bowling bad because of it. And it was very tough and challenging for me. Eventually, like one of my coaches like kind of helped me and like I kind of got out of my head and was able to like bowl better than the other two games. Um but like really since then, like I haven't really had any like mental challenges and it's like kind of good to think about because like I'm able to like understand and like not like beat myself up over like leaving a 10 pin if like the break is bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good. I'll circle back. I was like, I'll talk too much about that, but very good. Thank you for sharing that. That's really good. And salute and kudos to you for bouncing back and realizing what was going on. I think it's the awareness part that we oftentimes miss and Phil probably like can say this like with anything that he does. I know for me when I'm bowling, it happens to me too. And I've been bowling way too long. Well, I've been bowling for like 30 years, way, way, way too long, but it happens to the best of us. It doesn't matter your age, how long you've been bowling. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. I love that.
I feel like I've gotten better with when I go to do like practice sessions, like thinking about what I actually need to work on and not just like throwing the ball down the lane. Like if I need more
Mhm.
spare practice, like I know my 7 pins, couldn't make those, but I've recently gotten like to know where to stand, know where to throw. And my mental game has gotten better on that because there were some tournaments where like I did bad halfway through and then I was like, doesn't matter at this point. So I've gotten better with like figuring out where to change and then like picking up my game in the very end of it.
That's good. And that's what it's all about, is really, improving from where you were before. So those 7 pins, like, hey, like, and your confidence, I'm pretty sure that your confidence has probably raised because of that too. And I agree with you with practice. And I'll tell you, some adults don't even do that. They just go and they're trying to shoot 300s in practice. But it's like, is that really what practice is about? What are you focused on? What is the one or two or three things that you're focusing on today with your game? So kudos to you as well when it comes to that, because there are some adult bowlers that don't even do that. So that's good practice for you to have. So thank you for sharing that.
I've been trying to work on my scores and picking them up more. And also, I've been working on my strength training a lot. And I've been
Mm,
going for practice a lot, working on my 10 pins, my 7 pins, things like that. And I've also learned that talking to my friends and having fun picks up my mental head, and it's just like I'm out of my head then and I'm actually having fun and I'm not thinking about how I have to do better or something like that. Like I'm just in the moment.
yeah, thank you. In the moment, one thing you may have heard this before is frame by frame. Take it frame by frame because that's really all you can do. If you're so focused on the end result or the outcome, sometimes you get lost along the way. Your anxiety gets up along the way. There's a lot of things that can happen. So I think that is so good, Abby. So thanks for sharing that. That's really good.
I feel like I've improved on like my mental game because there was one of my favorite pro bowlers. She doesn't bowl anymore. She coaches. She said instead of setting a goal, set a mission statement.
Mm,
And I will use that instead of setting, like, I'll always set a goal, but I always will set a mission statement. So it's kind of different. And it helps me, like, whenever I get like really frustrated, I go back to my mission statement and know what I need to do so I don't get into my head as much.
wow, I haven't heard that before. I think I may have to adopt that because I have goals too when I bowl or just in life. I think that's really good. So that's the first time I've heard that. But thank you for sharing that. That's really good. I agree. So whoever it was that told you that, I agree 1,000%. I can see why they said that. So that's good. Man, that's good. Good answer. So, right, you fast forward a year again, and then you look back and you're like, okay, how did I get better this year? So I love that. That's so good. So, right, one thing that all of you girls have in common is go bowling. So what I would love to know and what I would love for you to talk about is kind of how has go bowling helped your development? How has it helped your bowling journey? It could be one thing, one or two things, or whatever you want to share.
So there was a time last year where I was only doing, well, just regular junior gold qualifiers, and it took me up till the second to last qualifier to actually qualify. And that's because I was usually the only girl in all these divisions, so there was only like one or two spots available. And then once gold comes around, you get like more scholarship opportunities. Like there was in the preview tournament, I was fourth overall, but then I got first place in the handicap one and ended up having more scholarship money than if I was in first place overall. But I love how it's like more inclusive and you get to like bowl in these really hard patterns. Like the first pattern we had was like the PWBA something. It was really frustrating, but
Yeah,
it was worth it because that's how junior gold is. So I feel
absolutely.
like it's a good experience and good like preparation up to that.
Yeah, that's good. Love that.
I feel like goal helps you prepare for like the next junior gold and it helps you qualify for different tournaments. I also like the girl atmosphere without boys because going up against boys or like with them is pretty difficult sometimes.
Yeah,
And working on the harder patterns really helps too.
yep.
I feel like goal will help out with qualifying. And like you said, Kylie, I was only the one girl in all boys like senior gold
Mm.
qualifying, and it was always like really hard to qualify. It would either come second or it would just be like always second overall. So I feel like goal will help out with the qualifying for junior gold, and it'll make like not going to a bunch of qualifiers, and it'll like cut down travel time and make honestly it'll make everything easier for like girls like who want to go to junior gold.
Love that.
For me, I did a junior gold qualifier tournament. And I was the only girl in my division, so they had to like combine my division, the I was U14, and it was I was combined with the U14 guys and also the U12 guys, and there was no U12 girls, so I was just the
Mm.
only girl in that combined division. And obviously, I didn't qualify, and I wasn't really expecting anything about it. But like when you go to like a gold tournament, there's only girls, so you don't have to like bowl against a guy. And also, just yesterday, I did like a scratch tournament, and they gave girls like an extra bonus just because like we're bowling against guys mostly, and there really wasn't many girls there either. So just kind of seeing like the sport filled mostly with guys and you having to compete against them is kind of challenging. So it's like easier when you go to like a gold tournament that it's just girls and like these girls are kind of your level, your age, and you can just like also build friendships through them. Like I've been able to build a couple of friendships with some girls as well from through gold.
I love that. Phil, there you go. I was like, you're doing some good work. So that I love that so much. That's cool. Like I said, I wish this were around when I was your age. So thank you, Phil, for just everything you're doing with Goal. And I'm just looking forward to continue to watch you grow it and expand and all the things that we had talked about before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that, to seeing the journey. And I'm just thankful to be your partner and to be a part of it. So thank you so much for that. So, a couple more questions, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. So, for those of you that are watching, I hope y'all like again. These are our youth bowlers, guys. These are our next future generation bowlers, and the answers that they're giving is fire. I can't lie. I didn't know how this was gonna go today. But you guys, like, y'all have just owned it, and your answers are phenomenal. And I'm just so proud of each and every one of you. Even though this is my first time meeting you, I'm proud of you. I've been on your social medias, I've been watching everything that you've been doing. And so hopefully, anyone that's watching is that, like I said, there's a lot of coaches, like hopefully they will be like, hey, let me look at Aria or any of you guys, right? So I love it. So college bowling, I know for a lot of you may be that next step that you may be looking to take. So when college coaches are watching, what do you hope that they notice about you? What is unique about you and your game on why they should take the time to come and talk to you, or that they should, just kind of watch you or maybe ask you questions? I'll say that again. When college coaches are watching, so it could be a junior gold, it could be your social media, they could be watching this episode that we're recording right now. What do you hope that they notice about you and your game?
I think sportsmanship is a big part of it and
Yeah,
encouraging like other people because you don't want to be self-obsessed. You don't want to like just focus on your game. You want to like be there for others and tell them if it's a good shot and all that. And I feel like college coaches look more than just beyond like your form or like your scores. They look at like even the bad shots, like how do you adjust to them? How do you move? And all that stuff.
yeah, that's good.
I
Sports.
want them to notice that I'm coachable and that I'm not perfect. And I also want them to notice my form because I've been told by several people that I have an amazing form.
All right, Abby with the farm. Love that.
For me, like, I agree with Kylie, like, about the, sportsmanship, like, that's very important, like, you don't wanna be self-centered, but as well, like, for me, I want, like, the coaches to see, like, a positive energy, like, when I'm bowling with other people that I know, and, like, even, like, just, like, everybody always, like, high fives each other after a shot, it's very, like, encouraging too, and, like, I tend to do that a lot because, like, I love seeing people, like, throw very good shots and they're happy about it, like, maybe they were doing bad before and, like, having tough breaks, and just, like, kind of positive energy, like, is something very important.
Absolutely. Pos- You have to have it. Have to have that. So that's good.
Yeah, Mariana, I agree with you. Like just having positive like energy and just being really positive and also making sure that you are also like being consistent in every shot and just being a kind sport even if you lose or win.
There you go. No one wants us to loser. You can't win as much as we want to win every single time. Sometimes it may not happen, but yeah, everything that you guys said, positivity, sportsmanship. Um, Wait, Abby, you said something. Um, oh, your form. Oh my gosh, I love that. I don't have the best form, but yours is probably better than mine. So I love that. And I watch your videos too, so you do have a good form. So yeah, all of those are good things. So thank you for sharing that. So two more questions, maybe three. I may throw a last one in, but y'all are doing great. So let's keep this conversation going. So, as we all know, right, like youth bowling is definitely a family commitment. Your parents are probably very much heavily involved in everything that you do. They're taking you to practice, they're taking you to tournaments, or maybe it's a family member or a sibling, right? So, what is one thing, and this is where you kind of shout out your parents, right? So, what's one thing that your parents have done that have helped you the most in your bowling journey?
My mom has signed me up for all my tournaments. She's taking me to all my practices, all my leagues, everything. And she posts on social media all the time, boosting all my tournaments and everything.
Go,
Yeah,
mom. There you go. I love that.
she also fundraises a lot. All my family members help with that and everything, and it really helps.
Yes, I love that.
For me, I kind of very similar to Abby, like, my mom drives me everywhere. She drove, like, many hours to go to the preview tournament, and she really much just drives me everywhere. Every tournament, signs
Mm.
me up for all of them, um, buys me new balls when I ask for them most of the time. So, like, that's very important, especially since she drives a lot, and I know, like, it's very hard on her, especially since she's busy, so her, like, driving me everywhere, all of my leagues, all my tournaments, everything is very important to me.
Love that.
I also got to recognize that my dad drove 20 hours to Minnesota for junior gold. So,
Woo! Go, dad. Go, dad. It's for the kids. I'm a mom. I would do the same thing. That's awesome. I love it.
I agree
Love
with
it.
all of that. We drove 18 hours to Minnesota, and I feel like that was a lot on my dad, but I'm so grateful for all of that and all the balls that they buy me, all the tournaments that we drive hours to, spending like nights in hotels, all of that. It's a lot.
Yeah. Shout out. Shout out. That's awesome.
I feel my mom, she's like my biggest supporter. She'll she'll do anything. Like she'll drive me to leagues, she'll get me out there, she'll sign me up for tournaments. She'll make sure that I have like the right materials and make sure that she is supporting me, and it's honestly been a really big help for the past few years, or for all my bowling career, because she's done everything. She's been on my by my side since I was little.
I love it. Oh, dads, yeah. My mom did the same for me, and I'm doing the same thing for my kids. So, I understand everything that they're doing because I do it too. Just want to give your kid the best chance of doing amazing things in life. And so whatever we can do, we're gonna do it. So even the 20 and 18 hours, 16-hour drives, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wind it down. So, since all of you are kind of really competing at, right, you're bowling at a higher level. If, let's say, I'll use an 11-year-old, I feel like that's kind of a medium age. So, if an 11-year-old girl was watching this right now and they kind of dreamed of bowling at the level you guys are at right now someday, what would you tell her? Maybe she just started bowling when she was 11. A lot of you have been bowling a lot longer than that. What would you tell her?
I think I would say, like, honestly, don't give up. I know people say that a lot, but sometimes it feels impossible because, like, you see all these people going to junior gold on TV, and you're like, they're so much better than me. But you can get there as long as you stay consistent, you listen to advice, you're coachable, and you genuinely just don't give up.
Love that.
Like Kylie, I would say the same thing, just don't give up and keep going. And whatever you want to do, you can put your mind to it and you'll get there.
Absolutely.
I would say like control what you can control and let go of what you can't. So like you don't get in your head as much.
Yeah, it's important.
I'd say to like kind of develop an average and like kind of like join some like handicap tournaments. Those are like very good for like an like beginner person. So I think it's very important, especially since it helps you get yourself out there and like kind of introduces you to like the like tournaments and like just the environment in a tournament.
Yeah, well, that's really great advice. I'm going to show that to my daughter. I'm pretty sure she'll watch the whole episode. It's good for any seriously for anybody, any youth bowlers that are watching this, or if they're looking to maybe get into bowling. Everything that you ladies have talked about is super inspiring for them. You've inspired me. It just reminds me of back when I was your age. So I love it. You all are well poised and very well spoken and professional, and I just appreciate all of your time today. Phil, did you have anything to add before I close this out?
I just want to thank you for having all of us on and to thank our bowlers, for participating. And certainly it meant a lot to me to hear, what Goal has been able to do already when we've literally had one tournament, and we're about to have another by the time this is online.
Yeah.
But it really is, it was born out of this idea of access to junior gold, but it's clear that it means so much more. And the friendships that have been developed already, both from the tournament, and I know there's been some connections online just from people following each other when we announce a new member or anything like that. So it's great to hear, and I think we're just going to continue to grow. In case there is anyone out there wondering, no, I cannot just fly across the country and run these tournaments everywhere. Um,
Come
but
to
we've
Texas.
had
Come to Texas. Come
yeah,
to
I
Texas.
Texas. We'll add Texas to the list. I've heard California, Michigan, that's further south. But I'm certainly open to if there's other people who want to run similar events in other parts of the country, talking to them about what we've been able to do, how our tournaments are designed. A big portion of this has been really aggressive marketing.
Mhm.
I think people are probably sick of seeing goalposts in like every bowling tournament group. But yeah, I'm more than willing to be a resource for others who are interested in what we're doing. Maybe someday we'll grow into some sort of like, established national like nonprofit or something. But in the
Yeah.
interim, I look forward to working with others who want to do this, because I think it's one important for female youth bowlers, and two, I think we're running a youth tournament organization the way it should be run, in terms of the communication and the planning. I when I scheduled our upcoming season events, the junior gold qualifiers, I did most of that in January. And when I was contacting some centers for events in 2027, so like we have an event in January 2027, April 2027, I had to make it clear. I was like, yeah, I know this is more than a year away. But I'm a planner. They're not used to this. They're used to being contacted, like a couple months sometimes before an event.
Mhm.
But I want to do things the right way. I think our bowlers deserve that, and I hope they appreciate it.
And it sounds like they do just from what we've been talking about today. So again, Phil, thank you for everything that you're doing. Ladies, thank you for taking time out of your day. I know it is the summer, but you took time out of your day to come on here. So I appreciate it. We at College Bowler Network appreciate all of you. So for those of you watching, make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Take care.